Alright everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F123 Driver Romeo with Alfa Romeo, episode number 23 today for the Austrian Grand Prix of Season 2, round number 7. If you missed the previous episode uploaded last week at Canada, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more F123 Driver Romeo episodes. But coming into this one then, we're still sat in P6 after that 10th place, a bit of excruciating 10th place, half-fought 10th place, which means we need upgrade. And I decided I'm getting a bit impatient with how long it is taking to catch the rest of the pack. We are going to put on a major DRS upgrade and we're going to rush it. And surprisingly, it came through. Wow, he's going to be a bit wet at the end of the sprint, so we'll have to watch out for that. But it's only just put us ahead of Williams. Everyone else has brought upgrades. You know, we're talking Red Bull have brought another upgrade. Let's see, Mercedes have brought a huge upgrade that takes them all the way up to the third fastest team now. Ferrari, McLaren less so, don't, and also not Aston Martin. We've still got a lot of work to do if we want to catch the midfield. By even the end of the season, you know, Alpine, Haas, they're still quite a long way away in terms of R&D chart. So it's going to be still tough, especially, you know, depending on what happens the second half of the season. Should Fernando stick about, or is he going to retire at the end of the season? We'll have to wait and see. Into qualifying then, yeah. Now, Austria used to be a good track for me on this game, but I'm starting to think it's less so. You can see here, we've set a time that's put us P12 at the moment. We're actually 2/10 up, but you can see here, we're not at the end of the session. Yeah, I'm going to I'll talk you through the end of this lap. To turn 4, I took too much curb there. I shouldn't have taken too much curb, because I think you do lose time. And then come through to turn 5 and turn 6. These are pretty bog standard swooping corners. Just make sure straight 9 where exit. Too much curb there, not enough on the exit there, and then I'm not using it again. I'm not curb. So there's mistakes in this lap definitely. Down to turn 10, and then through the final corner. It's just about getting there, and just too sharp on the turn in there, and it's a 104.5, which is only enough for P16. And well, I would have tried to improve that lap, except Mickey Mouse things were going on, just like at Singapore. We got Haas going really wide, going slowly. We're just going to blast past him. There's a Ferrari going wide as well. He's gone wide. Don't know what's going on with this Ferrari. Our DRS has decided to fail as well, just to rub salt in the wound. We're not even on the fly. We're not on the flying lap left. Yeah, and then Logan Sargent is going slowly as well, I think. So yeah, I mean, the main thing was the DRS being offline. It's just ruined our lap. When unable to cover without DRS at such a track that's got 3 DRS straights, so that is very frustrating, and it's going to mean that we're going to start the sprint all the way down in P17. We've got a lot of work to do. It's time for the Austrian Grand Prix sprint.
So it is all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Sainz, Tsunoda, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Joe, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Albon, De Vries, Phoenix, Magnussen, Stroll and Logan Sargent. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Okay, we've got that relief of having points on the board finally, so let's keep that form up and get another top 10 finish today, please.
Firstly, Mark, it's a top 8 finish. And secondly, what you on about finally? We have points all season. Yeah. Did have a look at going sauce, but the Delta said it's slower, so we'll stick to mediums. Interesting, Stroll has chosen sauce as well. So 5 lights then, with the Austrian sprint, and away we go. And, well, it's a horrible start for the Alfa Tauri in front of us, and the Haas. They're all both very slow off the line. I'm going to try and brake, narrowly missing a lot. Fernando, can we get the good exit though? Time to take a bit of evasive action, but it's been a good start. Up to P12, exactly the time of start we need in the sprint race if we're going to have a good starting position for the race. Have a look at a double dive bomb down here on Gasly and Alonso. Can we make it work? Yes, we can. Up to P10 as well. Don't know what happened with Alonso there, but he was caught a little bit napping, preoccupied with Gasly, not really thinking about us. And you know, we just take the inside line there, narrowly running into the back of Yuki Tsunoda there. As well. Now we're trying to get Tsunoda. We're defending from Gasly already though. Out of turn 4, you can see they do get a bit of better traction. Gasly down the inside turn 5, but we are able to defend, you know, pinch him to the curb, as it's the two McLarens who are battling all over each other. It looks like Bottas down the inside at turn 10. Fantastic move from the Finn to overtake his Australian teammate. Bottas being more comfortable in that car at this moment in time this season. Really, we're already on the back. We've got dispatched Tsunoda, now on the back of Oscar Piastri, who's just been overtaken by his teammate, and now he's going to go overtaken at turn 4 by me as well. We're up into the points. So we've had this is exactly the type of start we wanted to get. You know, P8, we can build this for the race. So Noda's also going to go through on Piastri as well. The same place his teammate Bottas got in front of him as well. Then Tsunoda's going to have a go at me. Piastri's falling way down. I don't know if he's got some sort of damage or problem, but he is now falling way down. Tsunoda did have a go down the inside turn 1, but we're able to fly back past with the help of some DRS at turn 3, and we're able to just use the battery to defend again. Our teammate is also on the back of Piastri and I think that's Ocon in the other Alpine there, around the outside of both of them, caught napping, and that's a good place for Fernando Tsunoda down our inside yet again. But again, we're just going to try and keep it wide through the final corners and just get the DRS as well and say thank you very much. Tsunoda's actually lost out now to Gasly as well, so Tsunoda will try and get back in front of Gasly. Oh no, he's not, because on the exit of turn 4 he's had a Spinala, and just as he was reversing, Fernando Alonso's out. Alonso, he was on for a good starting result as well, and while that was happening, Perez's engine failed as well. He's pulling off to the right hand side as well. So to sort all this mess out, the FIA just decided to throw a red flag. We're up to P7. We were miles away from Bottas. Everyone's going to pick the soft tyres. It looks like the rain period has passed. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think there might be a bit more rain. So Tsunoda's been given a penalty for wiping Alonso out. 5 lights are out and away we go. It's a much better start than Bottas and Sainz. Not getting those soft tyres warmed up correctly. I don't know if they're used soft or they're around the outside. There's been a bit of squabbling going on as we're unable to get in front of Verstappen. We're going to cut across Sainz as well for now. Russell and Verstappen going side by side. We're going to try and get in front of George Russell now. Around the outside, he was cut off by Norris, and we're up to P4. Now can we have a look at Norris down to turn 4 for P3? Yes, we can. Down the inside, we're up onto what will be the sprint podium, but sadly we're not going to finish there because there's Lando Norris. The Mercedes is far too fast. We go too deep into turn 3. I'm trying to do that move where we switch back in, but it doesn't work. We have to defend from Russell in the end. So Noda's going to get a penalty as well. That's going to help. They're going to scroll through the final corner as well. That's going to help Sainz out as well, close up to the back of them. But P4, we started down in P17. I will take that any day of the week in an Alfa Romeo, the third worst car on the grid. You know, that is going to be so helpful. So Noda down in P13 as well. We are ahead of Aston Martin because, of course, they have one hand time behind their backs. So, yeah, well, we'll see what we can do. Can we get a podium from 4th on the grid? It's time for the race.
Welcome to the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of this famous race. It's time for the Austrian Grand Prix. 7 rights and just 3 left-handers make up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is flat out, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Phoenix, Russell, Sainz, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Joe, De Vries, Tsunoda, Albon, Magnussen, Stroll, Ocon, Sargent, Fernando Alonso, and Sergio Perez completes our grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me again for the Grand Prix. Let's talk about Phoenix. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So here we are up in P4. Race strategy is a bit interesting. I'm just going to go with it. I was thinking about doing medium soft, but I think everyone else is on the soft tyres. If our softs go off early, we will do a 2-stop. I think that's what we've got to do. Or we can switch to hards. That is the other option we have. So we'll have to wait and see what's that. Russell behind us is on the mediums as we go to 5 lights and the Austrian Grand Prix, and away we go. It's a poor getaway for Norris. And also for Carlos Sainz, who loses the lead. Sorry, not Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, excuse me, loses the lead to Verstappen. Norris is going to come back at us up to turn 3. We've got the inside line. We go a bit deep. It's going to allow Bottas to get in front of Norris, and he's up to P4. Here's a replay, a little bit of tyre banging there. Nothing meant by it, but we are defending there. Bottas, you know, saw me take Norris wide and just slid up the inside. Thank you very much. So not Bottas though, he's going to try and have a go at us at the turn 10, excuse me, the pole in the corner, but we're not allowing any of that whatsoever. Retain P3 for now, and as the top two are just going to run away at this moment in time. DRS has been enabled. We've got Bottas and Norris squabbling behind. We're going to try and pitch them together, as I think somebody stuck their nose at the inside there. It was Bottas. You know, he shouldn't be sticking his nose outside in the air as I'm trying to turn at the corner. It was a very late move, and there's contact, and Norris doesn't have a front wing anymore. So Norris and Bottas the man who replaced Norris at McLaren the end of last year, and then Norris gets his revenge by giving Bottas front wing damage as well. So yeah, that's going to help us out, but that's going to bring out a safety car to clear up all that debris though. So this is going to help us out, just close us up really to the top 2. Got Sainz behind us now. We are going to let him go as per our contract. The safety car is in this lap, but Max Verstappen is DNFing. Just as the safety car comes in, Max Verstappen is out. So Red Bull's engine the Honda engine isn't looking so good for them this season. That's a DNF of Verstappen, and if he wants to retain his championship, it's looking hard for him there. We're going to let Sainz through. Hulkenberg is up to P4. We've got Piastri P5, so a few changes under the safety car as well. I did think about pitting, but it's a little bit too early. Piastri, though, is now going to get past Hulkenberg up to P4. This could be a good race if Piastri is able to hold on for P4. Good for his focus there, having a good result. You know, try and kick-start his season, because he's not had the best of season so far since Lando left. But Hulkenberg isn't going to give up. They're all squabbling, which is just allowing us to fly it, trying to move away from them. The problem for us is there is George Russell. Russell lost out under the safety car with the squabbling, but now has got up to P4, and by lap 11 he's right with us. So I want to try and run away. It's not happening. Russell is on the mediums. I think his tyres are now becoming the optimal tyre to be on at this time. So Laz Norris is way down the order, making an overtake on Kevin Magnussen. Bottas is trying to follow him through, really, and those two might come together again. You never know. The contact, we've got their teammates right behind him, the former Bottas and Piastri. Was there contact there between Russell and me? I did try to not squeeze him there, but with Russell, he put it up the wrong side. I thought I gave him enough room, but I think Russell might be my bad there, and I think Russell may have slight front wing damage, but only slight. He's still got DRS on us. He's staying out, so it doesn't look visually that bad, but it might just be a bit lime green for him. Apologies about that. Yeah, as Piastri's now look at him as the two Haas cars. Well, they're way down. In actual fact, you know, Hulkenberg has been caught by his teammate, so much for that P4. The Haas isn't doing so well there, as Piastri has been told he's got an issue over the as well. So in addition to you know, Russell's slight front wing damage, Piastri's got an issue, but I think that issue may have got worse with the racing that's going on, because now Russell's being caught by Gasly in the Alpine. We are coming into the pits though a few laps later on lap 15. Our tyres are starting to go off, 45% on the rears. It's time to come in. To be fair, the tyre wear has not been too bad, you know, compared to what we've had recently, where it's been off the charts. Being able to do soft medium here is fantastic. You know, a few hard runners out there. Those who pit early, I think Russell's gone to hards as well. A few others are going to hards. A lot of people pick on this lap going to mean like Piastri, but then you got Hulkenberg, and there's Gasly and Perez. Perez has come out of nowhere. I think I think he's done an undercut by 2 laps on everyone, and obviously the fresh tyre OP thing, which is ridiculous. It shouldn't be that OP. Is well. Now Perez is trying to get in front of Pierre Gasly, but unable to get in front there. Now they're going side by side down the main straight, but nothing. But will Perez be able to get past? No, Gasly just has enough to keep it there. And I'd rather have Gasly behind than Perez, because that Alpine is not good in a straight line. But Perez finally forces him. He's going to force him way back. No, Gasly still holds on. But surely now it's only a matter of time, and that indeed Perez gets past, and now he's on us. We're trying to defend this P3. He's gone past, but remember there's 3 DRS zones and 3 detection points. Gasly's squabbling with Zhou, not Hulkenberg, the lead Haas now. And Perez is a sitting duck here. We've got 13 laps of this. I'm hoping my mediums will be able to hold on. We'll have to wait and see about that. But Perez wants his podium, and he's going to keep coming at turn 3. But again, we're just going to keep going the DRS down to turn 4. You know, just make sure he doesn't have DRS. Isn't able to overtake him, because turn 4, if he gets in front of us at turn 4, then it might be curtains to the podium. George Russell has changed his front wing though, and that's put him down in second to last place, with Logan Sargent keeping him company down there, way down. Perez comes again on lap 26. We try. apply the squeeze like we did to Russell, then I think there was contact again at this corner. Not quite, actually. That's what I was sort of trying more to do with Russell, is trying to be fair but squeeze to make sure they don't get the best run out of that corner, as Gasly's now been overtaken by Tsunoda, and both of them have been overtaken by Bottas, who's got in front of Norris through the pit stop phases, as well as Perez locks up. I think that's possibly with the age of his tyres. Pitted a couple of laps earlier than I did for those Haas to get that undercut. But now we're sort of trying to defend a bit, maybe a bit of switchback. We are going to have the better exit. He goes defensive though. He uses some battery. We've got a bit of battery ourselves that we've been sort of saving, and thanks to the ERS upgrades that we recently applied, is really helping us out be able to defend and attack throughout this race. But yes, Norris is coming as well, because that is I think Gasly, and I think that's Tsunoda, Zhou, all squabbling over those last few points paying positions there, as Bottas now is going to have a go at Perez. So well, this is going to be interesting. Can Bottas get past Perez? Yes, he can. Pressure tyres on Bottas. Having done the 2-stop, he's now down our inside. Again, we're going to try and cut in. That's a textbook, lovely little sort of, a bit wide on the switchback, but it's still a lovely switchback. But look at the straight line speed. That is the issue we've got with engine power. Bottas has got half his front end plate missing though on that shot, after watching Yuki Tsunoda behind Sergio Perez, and he's done it again, Yuki, at the same corner. Wow, okay, well, that's put Yuki way down. No points for him today. It's such a shame, because it was a good recovery after from outside the points. We've now got Bottas on for lap 34. We've got a couple of laps to hold on. Ferrari are going to get a 1-2 for definite unless they have an engine failure. We are trying to hold on for Bottas, and Perez is coming through, but now we've got to hold on against Perez again as well. I'd rather have Gasly behind again still, but both of these two are way too quick. Piastri's closing in as well, along with Norris, so both of those two are going to be watching with joy, trying to see if they can get past. But Gasly, to give us some relief, Bottas and Perez are now going to squabble from turn 4 all the way through turn 5, and that's going to allow us to break away. Bottas down the inside and cuts Perez off, and that's going to be Bottas at P4, but Perez is going to come back. Bottas has lost DRS as well, as we move on to what will be the final lap. Perez right round the outside. Can he keep this move in? Piastri's got in front of Norris there, but we are able to just hold on there and come across the line for our third podium of the season. Well, that's, it's technically Ferrari 1, 2, 3, but we don't really have that many Ferrari parts down here at Alfa Romeo. Yes, I would definitely take that. Perez takes driver of the day after getting P4 from last on the grid. Yeah, it's a good point sort. 20 points for us gained. That is a good result. Another podium. I'll definitely take that. Piastri and the two McLarens really can be happy. I think Piastri P6 would be good for him. It'd be nice to see him try and take that more lead role as Bottas ends the end of his career. Fernando just got stuck in traffic, unable to overtake, and he's in poor form really, which is a shame for him. So in terms of the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc shoots up in a healthy 13-point lead now over Sergio Perez, 14 back. Those three are sort of breaking away from the rest of the pack. Sainz and ourselves and Verstappen are all there, but we're sort of way behind. Constructors remain P5, hoping to try and beat Aston Martin. We've only got one driver scoring points, and maybe ahead of Haas and Alpine. I think McLaren might be 2 out of reach. Piastri back-to-back P6s actually, so we got that P2 at Monaco. He's trying to I think he's trying to build that momentum. He's not being quite as up there as his teammate, who's been, P4, P5. So that's the improvement for Piastri there. For our team, we need a teammate that can score points again. I thought the start of the season over in 2 races, especially in Australia when Alonso beat us comfortably there, I thought we were going to have a nice teammate battle, but some DNFs, some outs. Alonso hasn't scored any points since, and he's retiring, possibly after the next episode after Britain, which will be out next week. And I think that might be the sole episode next week, because Belgium is a sprint race, and as you can see, these sprint race episodes take so long to record and then edit. I had to record this one on 2 different days. It was that bad to fit everything else in as well. Might have to think about the length of the sprint races, how many and what we do with those for future seasons. Let me know about that in the comments below. But if you're new around here, then please do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.